Well, welcome everyone to our Inspiring Healthy Living Tower Garden event. We have done one so far today earlier, so if you're, welcome you on board that you're coming in to join us tonight. And then we have those that are joining in through our recording. So welcome. We are so grateful for being able to bring some great education to you. We bring education, we bring inspiration, and we bring solutions. So we're going to, share our screen, and I am so grateful to have partnered with Sharon Hyde. We are here to learn how to grow your own produce on your own back porch or deck. It's so rewarding. And Sharon and I we're very glad you have joined today. And the company, we have a company we work with. Its heart's mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And we're over 25 countries. And I want to just start out before I share and introduce my story with you and introduce Sharon, or Sharon will introduce herself. We want to briefly share our stories and take a minute to share our mission, a whole food message, and in a snapshot, a few of our solutions that center around and along with the Tower Garden, because we're about the whole package of supportive tools. So we have a slide that's showing, if you're seeing a slide now, we're seeing how Juice Plus is the company we work for, and it bridges the gap with whole food nutrition. And this presentation is about towers, but I want to make sure that you all know that Juice Plus is part of a movement. It is part of a mission to take healthy back and to fill nutritional gaps. And the company has been around for 50 years. We're so proud. And Juice Plus was launched and entered in the marketplace 25 years ago. So we're celebrating some great success, and the integrity is so high. And Juice Plus is concentrated whole food and capsule, where you get 30 vine ripened plants. And it is the #1 most researched brand name product in the world. So we have about 40 published studies now. And it's a narrow product line to be the best. We're not watered down by a lot of catalog of products. And the message is high quality, superior to what you can have to add into your own home. And 8 years ago, they added the vertical tower gardens to help fill the gap in food safety. And it's the fun factor. And we save money, we build a community of support. And it's an easy way to be healthy as well. So that's a global community. And I just wanted to, Sharon, you can show this slide between that we had introduced us growing our towers. And I know that when I started, just to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Rachel Smartt for those that just joined us. And, I started learning about whole food and the power of preventative health, and learning about Juice Plus as a juicing alternative. And, in time, it was something that I really saw value in helping my family stay healthy. My husband was battling terminal cancer when I was looking for an alternative way to get more plants, and Juice Plus was that plan. And he was only given 6 months to live, but with a whole food concentrate, with prayer and faith and a fighting spirit and a community, his life was extended for 8 extra healthy years. So that was my inching into learning about the power of plants. And for me, I've not been to the sick care doctor in almost over 19 years. And I'm just so grateful to have the armor around my family and my grandkids. And then when I was, 8 years ago, I got into the Tower Gardens, and I grew up on a large farm. And I have 6 sisters and 1 brother, and we were worker bees, and we weeded Saturday was the drudgery. I love to eat it, but it was a lot of weeding and a lot of work. And as an adult, later on, I loved the great tasting produce, because I got really wanting the very best of taste. But unlike most things, that are not picked, in the stores, they don't taste the same because they're picked so early. And then I just didn't have time to weed, and I worried, and I had a really black thumb. Everything dies, it seems like, because I just don't have the focus to water everything. But when I got the Tower Garden, it was the first time I really felt that I could win with growing. I have had 8 years of successful year-round experience. I take control over what I am, my food quality in a large way. And I have been able to have fun. I've been able to save money. I don't have to get my fingernails dirty, and I don't have to spend a lot of money on the tools. And it's been a wonderful way to be able to complement some of the produce that I don't want to buy at the store, and I don't have to. And it's been an exponential and a wonderful experience. So that's my story in a nutshell. And I'm going to turn the time over to Sharon now to share her story. And then we're going to go right into the presentation.
Okay, hi everybody. I was going to say there, and I'm so happy to partner with Rachel Smartt. We're just having so much fun, and we love our gardens. But I was introduced to whole food nutrition 19 years ago as well, and busy mama, doing the best I can, just run around, having a full-time airline career, traveling around the world. And when it was brought to my attention that I could, add these whole food concentrates, it just seemed like a no-brainer. Loved a program where we had our children, we could sponsor them and help reduce the cost and provide product for them. So I was all in. And when the towers came in 8 years ago, oh my goodness, I was so excited. I just really gravitated towards the towers and the way to grow. You see, I do love to garden, but I didn't have time. And I would love the springtime, planting all the gardens and the vegetables. And I had fantasies of all these great things. And by July and August, man, I just wanted that tiller to go out there and just plow the whole thing over. I was done standing there watering it every night, picking all those weeds and then cooking things and bugs climbing all over it. I was like, ugh. So when the towers came out, whoa, game changer, super excited. So I am so happy you're here today so we can share this beautiful gardening appliance with you and give you a little history. So let's get started. And, you know, Rachel mentioned that she hasn't been to the sick care doctor in so many years. And, you know, if you do get sick, you want to know who your doctor is. I mean, we just don't show up any place. And we want to know who our dentist is. A lot of times we check references or credentials. And yet, do we do that with our food? So people now are really waking up to saying, I want to know where my food comes from. And I think that's a very good idea. You see, food travels from other countries, so we don't know what their practices are, or a lot of food is grown in California and transported over. So with that, it just means that the food can't be picked ripe. There's also a concern about bugs and disease, so how they solve that problem is doing pesticides and other chemicals on there so it stays fresh. But ooh, that's kind of a problem for us because it's really not salad dressing and it's something that we can't see, but over a long period of time really has detrimental effect on our health and effect on the quality of our products. With all of this happening too is in this huge farming, there could be salmonella breakouts like they had with the spinach, the romaine. There was a huge ordeal. A lot of restaurants don't even use romaine anymore because of that. So people now are really starting to say, I want to know where my food's coming from. And they want to be touching their food and growing their own food. Things in the store, prices are going up. So a lot of times people want to buy just a small amount of produce and then go back to the store. But what you find is every couple of days you're going back to the store. Price of an apple's over $1. Organic peppers are over $1, $2. And for a family, this starts really impacting the food bill. And yet, I mean, we have to have whole food nutrition in order to be alive and vibrant. Our body needs all that great nutrition. The other thing that comes into play with all of what I was talking about is that the quality of the soil has changed. We've depleted it. We're not rotating the crops because of the way the farming is done. And believe it or not, it's almost 50% of the less calcium than there was many years ago. So how does society solve that problem? Eat more food. Now, who here can eat 12 servings? 12 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every single day. That's why Juice Plus is an amazing product that solves the problem. But you can't live on Juice Plus. You need to grow and eat other delicious foods and enjoy them. And that's where the Tower Garden comes in. Now, people want to go to farmers markets. I mean, I love Saturday mornings and getting things that are vine ripened and fresh. And, you know, that's great. But something just happened recently that changed the way now that the markets aren't there. They're not available for us in the same way that they were. And so a lot of people now are wanting to garden and take control of their food sources. So what are they doing? They're digging out their gardens, their yards, they're doing flower boxes, and this is great. You know, and some people are just kind of like doing, you know, kind of rooftop gardening at the finest, trying to make it a work of art. But here are the challenges with that. Not everybody has the space. Not all the soil is good or deplete. You know, a lot of the soil is still depleted. And who has the energy to do all of that back-breaking work? Still deal with the weeds, you still deal with the bugs, you still deal with how do you get water into the garden. And look at the one in the middle. I mean, it's kind of comical, but me personally, knowing what I know, I don't want to eat food that was grown in furniture or plastic buckets or like all sorts of plastic containers. You see, when the sun hits it, it leaches those chemicals into the ground and into the food. So even though it looks like a fun, clever idea, ha ha, we got to really know where our food is grown. So what's really cool is NASA was thinking about this. Rachel.
Oh my goodness. And the NASA in the early 90s, NASA, the people that took us to the moon and back, was experimenting with growing food in a gravity-free environment. You remember that? I do. And if we think we have a challenge living in a healthy lifestyle, imagine what a challenge that was. They also started looking at growing in a mist environment and also growing without soil. So now, we fast forward a bit in a few years to the mid 90s, and NASA decided to join forces with Disney. Yes, Disneyland at the Epcot Center in the Disney World, and they're all about the future, and that's where the land exhibit came about. And through this collaboration, the land exhibit was born, and the future of growing your own fruits and vegetables in a variety of conditions was explored. And then we partnered with Tim Blank. He's a chief horticulturist for Disney for 13 years or so. And he partnered with many scientists and the Juice Plus company because of the research, the movement, the mission, the integrity. And he's dedicated to reintroducing health food for American families. So we're going to take a little, I think about 4 minutes to watch his vision and give you a big picture of what the dream was. And I think you can all relate and visualize and imagine what it's like if we can all take ownership and have our food in the easy way that we're talking about tonight.
Well, I grew up in western North Dakota, and if you've ever been to western North Dakota, you'll know that it's a place often referred to as God's country, because it's a place where the bison still roam free, and agriculture dominates the landscape. And I guess that's where the seed of agriculture started in me. Growing up in a family with 5 siblings, we didn't get to take a vacation every summer, but by the time I was in high school, my family had the opportunity to take a vacation to Walt Disney World, and if you can imagine what an experience that was. And out of all the 4 theme parks at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, the one that really stood out with me was Epcot, because Epcot was the place of the future. It was very inspirational to see all the different nationalities working together and all the different technologies, and the place that stood out the most to me was a special ride at Epcot called The Land. It was an hour-long backstage behind-the-scenes tour where they grew food crops from all over the world hydroponically. The thing I loved most about that backstage tour at The Land was it inspired me. I knew in that moment what I was going to go to school for and what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So I went and got a degree in horticulture, and eventually I came back to work as an advanced intern at Walt Disney World. I was very blessed to get an internship at The Land at Epcot. Thousands of people applied for that position, and they only selected 10. And used that opportunity to grow and develop my skills in hydroponic food production. And long after my day was ended, I volunteered and the various horticulture disciplines like plant pathology, entomology, biotechnology to learn everything I could about hydroponic food production and this technology, because even though I didn't have a master's degree in these various research disciplines, these doctors saw the potential in me and hired me on after my internship to conduct high-end scientific research with both NASA and the Department of Energy right there at The Land at Epcot. Well, during that first 7 years at The Land, I had an opportunity to learn just about everything that related to hydroponic and aeroponic food production. I got to learn about beneficial insects, microorganisms, plant pathology, biotechnology, and allowed me to move into greenhouse operations manager of the entire Land greenhouse facility in 2000, and I kept that position until 2005. In retrospect, I think it was those 12 years with the Walt Disney World Company that gave me the wisdom and the experience to go out and do something on my own. In 2005, I felt like that was a great opportunity to launch Future Growing, which was a company that would take very similar technologies and make them available for everybody, whether they be a commercial grower or for an individual homeowner who wanted to grow food right in their own backyard. So over the earlier years at the company, we developed the world's first patented vertical aeroponic technology called the Tower Garden. The Tower Garden can grow everything from a head of lettuce to an edible herb to a beautiful beefsteak tomato. And the idea was that every single crop that a homeowner would want to grow could be done right in the comfort of their own backyard. On the commercial side of our vertical aeroponic food production business, we've set up many urban and rooftop farms around the country, and even in many cases had some of the world's first of its kinds. For example, going back to 2009, we had the world's first certified green building with aquaponic and aeroponic food production on the roof. In 2010, we opened Manhattan's first aeroponic roof-to-table food farm that supported the restaurant down below. And now in 2011, at the Chicago O'Hare Airport, we opened the world's very first aeroponic food farm in an airport terminal, and all that food is used to feed many of the 67 restaurants at the O'Hare Airport. This dream I had that was rooted all the way back to my childhood about doing something for humanity, finding a better way of growing food, is finally coming to fruition. Seeing these projects come alive excites me more than it ever did, and I have a hard time sleeping at night. I can't wait to get that next aeroponic tower garden project out there. So living life to the plus is living your passion. I wake up every single day doing what I love to do, and that is helping people grow fresh, healthy food right in their own backyard.
I always love what he has to say because we get to work with him. It's so exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and let's dive in to see how does this tower garden work. Let's give you the nitty-gritties here. We're going to look inside the tower, and you can see that there is no dirt. The cups sit in the center is hollow, and the roots sit right there. And notice how there's a pump on the bottom with a reservoir of water. It goes all the way up to the top and then drips down over the roots. What's so unique about this, it's not hydroponics where it's sitting in a lot of water, but it's aeroponics where it's a combination of nutrients, water, and oxygen. And I'm going to show you how powerful that actually is. So that's, you can see the roots are moist, and yet it has its air. See how clean everything is. People worry about algae, but it's not an issue. It's a clean, the water's flowing, fabulous. So here's two plants that I had. I bought them at the same exact time. One I submerged in water and nutrients. The other I had in the tower garden. And look how long those roots are. So I was taking my garden apart to do a demonstrations, and I discovered that, and I was like, whoa, I got to take a picture. Look at that root base. They're the same age. What's the difference? The unique technology of the tower garden and the combination of all that research that Tim Blank, the developers, and NASA and Disney did. So let's see how fast it grows. You are not going to believe this. This is so exciting. This is only 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Now, when you think about that, think about your dirt garden and you know how long it takes to go. So 4 weeks, seedlings. Don't you just love it? Look at that, fresh herbs and squash and things. So before the second payment's due, you're already eating off the tower. There's no way I could ever have done that in my dirt garden. And in fact, here's a picture that Kathy Flynn, a friend of mine, did. Look at day 1 in the left-hand corner, little seedlings planted. 1 week later, 2 weeks later at day 14, and look at day 21, 3 weeks from planting. You are already eating off the tower. Now this was done in April in Maryland during the cold time. So isn't that amazing? And that colder is an actual slower time to grow. So just amazing. And Rachel, would you go over some of the benefits of the tower?
And that's the best part. We want to know what really is. It's the science behind everything and the benefits. We talked a little bit on our stories, but it's a soil-free system, means that there is no weeding, which I talked about in my story. No tilling, kneel. We don't have to kneel or get dirty, and that's what it's great for. We talked about, what I like to have gifts for, elderly. They want to be able to still have a purpose and grow, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to have access just like we like to when we're younger. And we don't have to have a lot of gardening experience. It's not really necessary at all, and it fits easily in on a patio, deck, porch, or balcony. And now we have the indoor towers we'll show in a little bit, or that you can be able to grow year round, pretty much, indoor or outdoor, depending on what you want to grow. And there's many things that you will show pictures of in a minute about the vegetables, the herbs, and the flowers. And the only thing that you can't grow are root vegetables. And the tower grows up to 28 plants in one tower, and it uses as little as 10% of the land area and the water, which produces crops in much less time. And it's made from USDA approved UV stabilized food grade plastic. And that's something so important, because a lot of companies out there are doing a lot of things with plastic, but they're not food grade plastic. And like you mentioned in your story, Sharon, there's people growing food, they're getting food, but they're plastic and things are leaching into the food. And it's wonderful to be able to know that it's just a wonderful way to have a stabilized way to grow your own food in a fast way, and also help the land and help our world.
Yeah. And both Rachel and I are proof that the towers are built to last. We've had ours 8 years, and I have people that have them for 12 years, and they still look good. They're growing. So I call it my little gardening appliance. It just keeps on giving, because it almost feels like free food. Once I have it, it just keeps on going. And so let's show you some of the towers. So we have a home unit, which I will show you a little bit. It's a white unit with the wheels attached. You can go indoors and outdoors, but try to go with smaller things. But notice how you can do your pumpkins and squashes and things if you have room on the ground. Or you can bring your tower indoors with lights. And look at these happy kids. They love to take care of the garden. It's a great experience for them. And it also encourages them to eat healthier and to make better food choices. Now, some of the things I love to grow are strawberries. I did one whole tower that was all strawberries one year and thoroughly loved it. pH just needs to be a little bit lower, so it is harder to mix strawberries with some of the other things, but it can be done, and some people have great success with it. But I love strawberries, so I tend to have more than one garden. And also, look at these great peas, growing peas right there on the inside. When you're growing some of the plants inside, just keep, with the pollination, if they're a flowering plant, just keep like a little paintbrush or makeup brush and tickle all the little flowers and help pollinate them, and that helps. And then on the right hand side, look at that gorgeous celery, a celery that keeps on giving. The best part about the celery for me is I don't eat gobs of it, so it's always fresh right there for when I need it. And a lot of people juice celery, so we're going to show you a little bit about how juicing the celery works. You can have eggplants and lots of endless amounts of greens and lettuces, any type of squash, yellow squash, pumpkin, watermelons, broccoli. Oh my God, I love my broccoli. So what I would do is plant broccoli around the top of the tower, keep it as far away from the ground as possible, keep all those caterpillars off it, and I would just thoroughly enjoy it and would keep flowering. But one of the things that I ventured out is there's so much nutrition packed into the leaves. So I would cut the leaves off, chop them up, put them in salad, put them into soups. I mean, we never eat the leaves in the store, and yet it's still nutritious. And it gets all that delicious and that high potency nutrition that we provide in the water, which we're going to share a little bit of information with you. Look at that kale, incredibly juicy, full of vitamins and nutrition and phytonutrients, kale that you can put in your smoothies, make kale chips, salads, and tomatoes. Just nothing like a fresh vine ripened tomato. The stores, they try to mimic the tomatoes by keeping the vine on it, but it's not the same. So in my herb tower garden, look at this rosemary. He's gone wild. I couldn't possibly eat that amount of rosemary. Got to give it away. And lettuce. What's really great about the lettuce, you can pluck off the leaves or pinch off the leaves, or you can take the whole head and then plant a new one and rotate. So however you choose to garden. I love a variety of different Swiss chards and lettuces, lots of greens, with Swiss chard, and you can also do, look at these watermelons and cantaloupes. And so just make sure that you have a place for the vine plants to trellis or be on the ground, and don't touch them too much because they don't like to be touched. They just want to grow and get big and juicy for you. Yes, I've done green beans. I love doing green beans in the tower, and Swiss chard too. That's my Swiss chard there. We eat the whole thing and juice it all. Love my tomatoes. And this is my friend Sue's tomato. Look at that beefsteak. I mean, there's just nothing better than a fine, ripened beefsteak tomato on your sandwich. So we do have two models, and the one onto the left is called the Flex. It's typically used for outdoors, but it can go indoors. It's a little bit wider. It's our original one. It's hardier if you're interested in eggplants and tomatoes and peppers and things like that. It holds about 20 gallons of water. But then we have our indoor garden. It's called our home garden. And it has LED lights that kind of octopus around. You can move it. And the great part about both of them, they both can be indoor and outdoor. But if you're looking for those tomatoes and those bigger things, I would steer you towards getting the Flex unit. Now the home unit is incredible for being in a condo, a small apartment. It wheels in a corner. The lights have the perfect lighting where you can just grow amazing, amazing produce. And so we talked a little bit about NASA and the beginning of the food production. And what's the great part about it? What happened with NASA? Well, you work with Disney and Tim Blank so that they could develop something, which was our Tower Tonic. And I pass the baton to Rachel.
That's what really intrigued me, because I know that a lot of people think of Miracle-Gro, but you don't know what's in Miracle-Gro. And what a wonderful thing about the tonic is especially designed for high performance plant food. And the Tower Tonic has mineral blend, earth minerals that grow rich full plants, and they have an A and a B tonic that helps all the plants grab what they need with the necessary nutrients. And it's safe, it's effective, and there's science behind it. And you mentioned, Sharon, it's aeroponic technology, so it's not hydroponic. It's a lot better than hydroponic only. Enables superior plant growth with better nutrition from your own garden and vegetables, and developed by the leading world experts in plant human nutrition. And so the Tower Garden Tonic Mineral Blend is a solution specifically designed to promote the rapid growth that you've sown in some of the things we demonstrated with all types of food. And I love learning, like when you look at the garden, you have to think what grows best on certain foods. This is a whole balancing of the A and B tonic, which is earth minerals, that everything grabs what it needs to. And that's why it is, you don't have to have separate things to do it. And it's a lot more superior than things on the market that you don't know what's in it and what's going through your food and into your body.
Exactly. We don't have to worry about any type of heavy metals leaching in. And a lot of the people in the hydroponic industry are amazed that one formula does it all. That's why it took so many years for them to develop. So it's quite a superior blend, and I'm very excited about it. Go ahead, Rachel.
And for me, I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I love research, and that's the only reason why I'm really involved with sharing and consuming Juice Plus and the Towers, because it's science and clinically backed by science. So our company, really want to make sure that they did research on, as well as Juice Plus, but on the Tower Gardens as well. So the University of Mississippi in the summer of 2013 published an evidence-based science complementary on alternative medicine research that showed their higher quality of phytonutrients, which is the plant the antioxidants and the plant nutrients that come from fruits and vegetables, and the minerals, etc., that they're in the plants, and they actually grow they measured in the soil and in the tower. So they wanted to see how much difference it was showing, and it yielded up to 30% in the tower garden over 8 different crops, more than in the ground. So it's easier than gardening, and it used up approximately 10% of the space, and we mentioned before, and water versus traditional gardening systems. So you can see here 30% more yield across 8 different crops, and you can see the comparison, which was quite substantial. And the biggest thing was the nutritionally density that we want to be able to have, and that's what our company is all about, is researched, strong, and to be able to know that it's safe and effective in every way.
Yeah. And Rachel, what I really like about this research too, I mean, how many people have their plot of land, which is the best organic possible, or their flower box? But in this study, when it was comparing the Tower Garden, it was the best organic that they could possibly come up with. So it was the perfect scenario. So now we know that people can grow this best organic right there in their backyard, in their tower.
Hi, in this video I'd like to show you the difference between juicing celery, and in this demonstration I went ahead and got organic celery from the supermarket and fresh cut celery from my tower garden. First I'm going to start off by juicing the store-bought organic celery. Celery ranks very high in the dirty dozen list, which means that you will get a lot of pesticide and chemical residue. And so it's best to always buy organic when possible. So here we go. So here we have some of our juiced celery from the supermarket. And you can see it's not greenish. It's not very green. It's green tone. Taste it. It smells like celery. Has a light celery flavor. So it's decent. I would say it's nice. The color doesn't really say much. So now let's go for the Tower Garden celery. So you see the difference in the stem and the color? It's incredible. So we're going to start juicing our Tower Garden celery with the leaves and all, because they're very nutritious. Here we go. And here is our celery from my tower garden. Isn't that incredible? I mean, do you see the difference in color? It's like an emerald green. Look at this. It smells like wheatgrass. That's how rich the smell is, and the taste. Wow, it's incredible. I mean, if this doesn't convince you, what will? I hope I was able to demonstrate the difference between juicing store-bought organic celery and my very own Tower Garden celery. Look at this, amazing. So if you don't believe me, why don't you start your own urban, sustainable, food-growing movement with a Tower Garden, whether it be on your balcony, a backyard, a terrace, your neighbor's backyard. Just start something local and in your community.
So awesome. I always love that demonstration. And one awesome thing about Tower Gardens, we can't not talk about children. Children love to garden. They love to learn and grow. And what an incredible way you can be teaching them, all sorts of lessons about food, how to grow it, get them involved in the seed planting process and the water and measuring things. And it's been proven that if children are part of the process, they're going to be more inclined to eating it and exploring it. It changes their taste bud. When children get better nutrition at a younger age, it changes the palate, and they're attracted to eating healthier. And of course, good nutrition, right, is the foundation for a bright future of having and maintaining excellent health. We have, with the Tower Garden community, we have lots of school curriculum. We have schools that bring the Tower Gardens to their school. And if you get a Tower Garden, you have access to this curriculum, and you can use it maybe for a homeschooling or to enhance your learning experience with your children. And right here is our Rachel. And who are these kids?
Well, these are my grandkids. I have 5 grandkids, but I love teaching children about seeds, about where food comes from. And when they grow their own, they eat their own. And so their taste buds change. We know we incorporate that with what we're feeding them. Of course, I always introduce, the gummies with the Juice Plus as well. But it's a way to help them know where food comes from, because a lot of kids do not know where food comes from. And they're, teaching the children about real living food for living bodies. And I really believe it's a nutritional inheritance and a responsibility as a parent to teach our children so they can grow up and be better off than we are, because we're seeing a total decline. So it's wonderful. And I love every bit of, look at my little Arlo and Blakely just eating at young ages things that some kids will never even touch or know about.
Yes, it's so cool. And, what a great experience. And so, good nutrition totally makes a difference in our children's health. And so we definitely invite you, if have young children in the family, the Tower Gardens are safe. It's a wonderful, wonderful learning experience for them. So let's talk a little bit about the investment and what you can expect to, ROI, return on investment. And so this analysis was done by Tower Garden Farm in Atlanta, Georgia. And they monitored all of the produce that they got from the tower and then multiplied it by what the yield was and the pricing. And they really came up with, in a 6-month yield, what value that they got from buying the organic produce that they grew. And myself, having had the towers for so many years, I can testify that, a whole tower right now full of fresh organic lettuce. I have huge romaines and butter crunch and Swiss chards and things. I can't even get that right now in the store because the distribution line has been disrupted with what's going on in the world. So some of the things that I'm growing, I can't even get to the store, let alone so it definitely pays for itself, plus gives me peace of mind. And so let me tell you a little bit about the towers and the 2 different models that I kind of talked about, but this is the nuts and bolts of it. So this is the Flex. This is the original one we had. It's a little bit more of a hardier tower that's great for if you're gonna do like your tomatoes and peppers and your bigger things. The system that you have, everything that you need for that system is 12 payments of $52 a month. If you decide to get the lights that go with it, it's 12 payments of $77. So the shipping costs and everything are rolled into the price, which is just awesome. The only additional cost would be the state tax, and it varies between your states. So all of the payments are interest-free, so you could pay it off in full, and there's no difference in the pricing. And it's just a great product. Now there are, of course, everybody asks, are there accessories, are there goodies? Of course there is. You can buy a tomato cage, wheels, and extensions, and things that I will go ahead and show you about in a minute. We have our smaller condo unit or in-home unit, which slips into the kitchen a little bit better, takes 12 gallons of water versus 20, and it runs about $56 a month if it's with no lights. So just the tower itself with the wheels and the things. If you add the lights, it's about $82 a month, and they're interest-free payments as well. Once you own the tower, it's yours, and you can just use it and keep using it. The only thing that you need to replace is perhaps your rock wool, which is very affordable, and your tonic solution. You just use a very small amount of the tonic solution when you replace the water. Well, we talked about the water before. The water recycles, so you don't use as much water as you normally would do in gardening. This is the 2 units side by side. You get everything you need to get going in the basic unit. You get your tonic, your seeds, your timers. The water runs on a timer. If you purchase the light, they have their own timer system. So everything you need to get started is there, and it's very affordable. And so there's a close-up on it. Just makes it great. But oh yeah, I also want to say you can also join our Tower Garden community. So we have resources there, video instructions of how to do the harvest, how do you plant, how do you set it up, how to do indoor, how to do outdoor, how to handle challenges. We provide lots of resources for you on most Facebook and on our website. And the person that brought you to this call today has great resources to help you and to partner with you so that you can have success. So feel free to ask questions and be part of the community. So here are some of the accessories people always ask us about: is the tomato cage a support cage, or a weather blanket to protect it from the hot sun or the cold frost, and extra cups and wheels and goodies. Of course, you can purchase the lights. Some people on the call right now probably might have the tower already and might just need the lights. So you can go ahead and order them. From time to time, our towers are in high volume. So it's very important to, if they're on a temporary wait list for the lights, go ahead and place your order and get in line. And when they're ready to ship, that's when they will charge you. And you can, at this time, put the lights on the payments because it fluctuates at being backstop. One thing to keep in mind is if you purchase the tower and you do the payments and then 2 months later you say, oh, I want to buy the extension kit or the wheels, those you cannot roll over into the payments anymore. So if you're getting your tower and you think you might want more of the accessories, I invite you to put them into the package so that you can just break that up into the payments. It just makes it so affordable. And think about how much money you're going to be spending on produce at the grocery store. So now you're growing a lot of fruits and vegetables. So you're just reallocating that money for your tower. And then once the tower's paid, and then it's like now you have your food factory working for you. And yes, people always ask us, you know, they have gardens at home or greenhouses, you know, do I get a discount if I get more than one? So we have the Flex Family Garden where it has a $350 value. These come with the extensions. They have everything you need here to just really provide for a family and add a little creativity. This is where people do the salad tower, the spice and seasoning tower. Some people do the tomatoes and peppers on another. That is where I started. I bought one tower and then like the next month I bought 3 towers. I had so much fun. I just love this. And, you know, for some, there might be a little bit of a learning curve, but it's very easy to do. As Rachel said, she had a black thumb and she has had incredible success. So I highly recommend the family garden. If you're thinking you might need more than one, or especially if you have a greenhouse, it's just a great way to grow vertical. Okay, so let's go ahead. As all our Juice Plus products, we have a money back return on that. The only stipulation on the towers is if to send them back, there is a $50 reduction of what you have paid to cover some of that. So we do invite you, if you do start and join our Tower Garden community, we really want you to have an enjoyable experience. But just know that if something breaks or something's not right, that's what's so awesome about our company and our partnership, is that we aim to please and provide excellent customer care and service. And you might be thinking about, oh, maybe I want more than one tower. Oh, my mom might want this. Oh my goodness, Mother's Day could be around the corner, or another holiday that you could be buying this for. And so we want you to know that there is an opportunity to be one of our Tower Garden partners, our Juice Plus partners, wherever your heart is. We love sharing it. People that are landscapers and home improvements and moms on emissions and homeschoolers, and this business could gravitate and be a solution for so many people. So I hope we piqued your curiosity on that and get with the person who invited you here, and we can easily share more information to see if this is a fit for you. I know myself, 19 years ago, somebody who cared about me shared the nutrition line with me, and it made a difference. I'm one of those people that I get really excited. I share, I find something good, I can't keep it to myself. And before I knew it, I was just sharing and gifting other people. It made sense for me to offset the cost of my products and to have my own small hobby business, and over time it grew to a full-time income. So like Tim Blank did, where he was following his dreams, for me it opened up my dream of being a business person and having some time, choices that I could have some time freedom or more control over my time. And so with that, I really want to talk about the families, and it's just a smart decision. And I really want to share some of our customer experiences. It's not just Rachel and I, there's others here. So let me share that with you.
But tower gardens are amazing. The aeroponic gardening system I absolutely love. I have this one that's complete of tomatoes, beefsteak and cherry tomatoes and basil. Then the other one's just a mixture of like chard and broccoli and all my favorite different fruits and vegetables I have. And now my third one is going to have different herbs, so like lavender and thyme and sage.
Here you are allowing people to grow their own foods the tower garden will pay for itself within a couple years, but you get to keep it forever.
And I would spend probably about $50 a week on organic fruits and vegetables, and now I don't have to do that.
I also juice every day, so I get all my kale and all my chard from there and anything else I'm going to put in there. So I love that thing.
Because it tastes good. It really does. And I have no green thumb. I can't grow anything, and I've been able to get things to grow. The best tomato I had last summer was from my tower garden.
This is my first time ever seeing celery grow from start, and we have huge stocks of celery. My wife's a big strawberry fan, so we've done strawberries.
All winter long, we've been able to grow fresh produce in our living room. It makes a nice centerpiece and talking piece. Move the coffee table out, move a tower garden in. And it's been really fun for my family and my kids.
It becomes such an amazing experience for them because they get to go and they get to pick it themselves.
I told them, you can just walk right up to it and eat from it, and they love that.
When we have salad party day, we harvest our tower garden, and the kids are having their salad party and coming back and asking for more salad, please. You're doing the right thing.
And the joy of feeding our family, where we literally grow outside the kitchen door, harvest from tower to salad bowl to table, it's just been a wonderful addition to our diet.
And he does most of it now. And I was the one that gardened in the soil for many years. He's now our tower garden farmer.
And clearly, if I can grow a tower garden, it's inevitable that anybody can grow a tower garden.
Chicago hair. And what I want to say to you is I want to invite you to join our tower gardening community, because a year from now, you will wish that you had started today. So it is our hope that you have gained some insight and some inspiration for what we shared today.
Yes, I'm so excited about our movement, our mission, and our noble work. And we have a lot of people that sign up to be a customer. We have a lot of people right now. The last 2 months, we have been about 50 to 75% increase in our Juice Plus and our Tower Garden sales. So there's never been a better time to have residual income, a retirement plan. And I know that's really important for people. As you get older, you want to have something tucked in for the rainy days and also the yes factor in life. So you guys, thank you for sticking with us tonight, and hope you enjoyed this. For Father's Day is coming up. We have Mother's Day coming up. And of course, helping those that love to have options in their life be prepared for the best years and also for the worst. We're going to have both in our lives. Thank you guys for joining in, and have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday night.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everybody.